Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. Welcome to another edition of Fightsticks of the Month, this time for March of 2021. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, if this is your first Fightsticks of the Month video, welcome! I do a video like this every single month, showcasing my favorite fight sticks that I saw. I try to do things a little bit differently every month, and this month is no exception. To be featured on Fightsticks of the Month, there's only one rule. You have to post your fight stick on Reddit Fightsticks. I'll leave a link in the description below. So for this month, I'm showcasing sticks in 4 different categories. The first category is for sticks that just straight up look good. The second category is to showcase sticks that have been built from the ground up, completely handmade or printed. The third category is for sticks that are just straight up weird. And the fourth category is about beauty on the inside, some incredible wiring jobs. And last but definitely not least, I've settled on my top 3 fight sticks for the month. So let's take a look at category number 1, fight sticks that are just straight up beautiful. We'll start out with this Jet Set Radio themed Espada. If you're a fan of Jet Set Radio, you might be a fan of this stick. It looks incredible. I like what they did with the artwork, especially the button inlays. The great artwork continues right onto the back of the stick, and I like what they did with the spray effect. Overall, this stick is loud but tastefully done, and a huge throwback to the game. Great job. And speaking of loud, check out this Unit 01 B&B. The choice in buttons and ball top work really well with this design, and I like the fact that they kept the sides nice and clean. The white is a nice contrast here. Even the bottom of this stick looks fantastic, so great artwork on the top and on the bottom. Overall, I think this stick looks incredibly slick. Moving on, if you're a fan of Ryu, or more specifically Hot Ryu as he's officially called, you'll like this stick here. I like the choice in matte buttons. I think it goes really well with everything. Considering Ryu just got some pretty big buffs in Street Fighter V, this stick is pretty timely. Here we have the exact same case design as before, but the artwork is completely different, and what you end up with is a product that looks completely different. This stick does look strikingly similar to a stick that was nominated for Fight Stick of the Year. If you're a fan of JoJo, you might be a fan of this artwork, and the wiring on this one is also pretty great. Here is a pretty spiffy looking Fallout themed hitbox, and for some reason this one just brings a smile to my face. You don't see these very often. Here's a Legend of Zelda themed stick. I like what they did with the artwork, and I like what they did with the button inlays. The buttons are LEDs, the back artwork is tastefully done, and the wiring is also done well. Something neat to point out about this stick is the layered artwork. Underneath the top panel is artwork, and then on the bottom panel is some more artwork. It creates a pretty cool effect. Moving on, I'm showcasing this stick because of a question that was asked in one of my previous videos. Someone wanted to know if you could put an Odin V2 in a hitbox cross-up. Well, yes you can, and someone did it, and it looks great. Shoutouts to this pretty cool Sakura stick, or stickless. This stick is titled I Kinda Like It, and I kinda like it too. The overall coloring of this stick is just really nice. Next up, we have this 90s themed Dreamcast stick. It's nice to see these still floating around, and it's also nice to see what they did with it. It's been gutted on the inside, and it probably works pretty good. I like the Capcom logo plastered on the side of this. It does scream 90s. This stick isn't quite complete yet, but it's a faux hammer, and it might be one of the last faux hammers to be built. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's complete. I really like how the overall design and artwork came out for this hitbox. And here's another stick with great artwork with a similar gold and black theme. And here's yet another gold and black theme that turned out incredibly nice. I love the way this one looks. This Castlevania themed stick also has gold around the edges. Classy. I mean, how can you tell me that doesn't look good? This person says, Happy Fight Stick Friday. Pretty simple, but I like it. I also like this too, and I like what you did with the orange buttons on the side. Overall, this is simple, but it looks great. Rounding out the category of good-looking sticks, and we have this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles themed stick that gets bonus points for using action figures as props. To me, this stick is really well done. It's got a green case or shell. It has buttons to represent the Ninja Turtles, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. The movement buttons tie in nicely. I like the artwork, and I like the artwork around the buttons. And also on the top, you have the buttons to represent the Ninja Turtles. Overall, this is probably one of the best Ninja Turtles themed stick that I have ever seen. Now moving on to the next category, fight sticks that people have built or printed from the ground up. The first one here is pretty special. It's a fight stick designed to work with the Mister. For those of you that don't know, the Mister is a retro gaming powerhouse. It uses FPGA. On top of that, they just recently got CPS2 working on it. So designing a fight stick specifically for your mister, I think is pretty cool. The only minor concern I have about this stick is the placement of the front buttons. If this stick is sitting on your lap, there might be a chance those buttons get accidentally pressed. Other than that though, this stick looks really good. It's not easy to build a stick out of wood. Here's a pretty little nifty button box. I like what they did here. I like the layered plexiglass. I think this one turned out really nice. The artwork on it is pretty good, and I like how the buttons kind of match up with the knuckles. The small form factor is nice, and I'm betting this is a lot of fun to use. Pokemon cards are all the rage right now. Here's a custom Pikachu stick where it looks like Pikachu's bursting out of it. Can you believe that this is someone's first custom fight stick? Holy smokes, did it turn out nice. And here is someone else's first fight stick. Another beauty. Here is an absolutely gorgeous black walnut and hard maple stick. It turned out really good, and I think this looks incredibly classy. Is walnut and maple not your thing? Maybe oak and ash is. Check out the curves on this. Making a fight stick out of wood is one thing. Making a fight stick out of wood that looks like this is something completely different. But okay, maybe two types of wood isn't your thing. What about a whole bunch of different types of wood? That's exactly what this stick is made out of. Purple heart, yellow heart, white oak, red oak, poplar, and maple. That's 6 different types of wood. On top of that, this art is completely handcrafted. This stick looks way too good to use. But okay, maybe wood isn't your thing at all. What about 3D printed sticks? This mini hit looks great. Here's a unique 3D printed stick that I think turned out all right, and it has an interesting story behind the layout. So they couldn't decide on what layout to use, so they just put everything in there. You can see the WASD layout, and you can also see the hitbox style, and it's got a joystick. Overall, I like this a lot. This stick here is ready for Guilty Gear Strive. It's a custom 3D printed stick with Giovanna and Axel artwork. The design of this fight stick is pretty unique, and there are some interesting touches. They've got custom button plugs and a custom dust washer. Overall, it ties in nicely with the theme. Keeping on the theme of 3D printing, and here is a fully 3D printed stick called the Tap Box. It also features square Sanwa buttons. If you've never seen a square Sanwa button, well, here you go. I really like this prototype, the small box Pinky. Everything in it is super packed, and it uses a Brook Zero Pi board. This is an awesome design, especially if you wanted it sitting on your desk for easy access. This really wouldn't get in the way of anything. But okay, maybe wood isn't your thing and 3D printing isn't your thing. What about metal? Here's a fight stick made out of aluminum. We really don't see stuff like this very often, and I'm glad they shared it. Now, moving into the next category, weird. This is weird but cool, and I'm also pretty sure I featured it before, but I'm too lazy to check, and if I did, well, I'm featuring it again. I like the custom bat top here. I don't think it's really practical, but it looks really cool. And I also really like that custom dust cover. I'm assuming this is more form over function, but at the same time, we can still admire it. Here is something else that's really weird, but kind of cool. After looking at this for some time, I can understand this layout. I don't know if it would really work for me, but if it works for them, more power to them. This one here is really weird. It's not bad, it's just weird. It kind of reminds me of a music box that you crank. I looked at this one for a while and I'm still a little bit confused. I know a lot of work went into it, but this one is really weird. There are a number of things that throw me off about this design. The odd angle of the buttons here, the random key just kind of sitting in the middle, and all of these keys over here. It's just mind-boggling. But if I am to put my hands up on how I would actually use this stick, I think the random button does make sense. I don't know, this really confuses me. And don't even get me started on the wiring here. There is a lot going on. This was probably a massive headache to get working. But overall for this one, good job. If trying to figure out that wiring gave you a little bit of a headache, hopefully these sticks will fix that headache for you. We move into the next category, wiring. And we'll start with Sting. I mean, you can't tell me that this doesn't look clean. Even the wires have little color coordinated clips on them. Since it's a clear plexi, they were pretty clever in hiding a few things. They used this yellow plastic thing to hide the joystick, and they have another plastic thing here to hide the PCB. And the great wiring continues here. All of the cables are nicely sleeved and color coordinated. And yeah, the artwork and button coordination on this stick is great too. You can't see all of the wiring in this stick here, but what you can see is incredibly tidy. Here is another beauty wiring job from Bearwit. Gorgeous. This Skeletor themed stick is great. It even has its own matching braided cable. Inside, it's very well wired. It looks really nice. It's clean, there's a lot going on in here, but the way it's wired makes it look like it's pretty empty. The same person also did a great job on this custom Akira stick. If you're not familiar with Artorias Akai, you should definitely follow them on Twitch. They recently did a wiring tutorial to show you how to wire just like this. Personally, I think having a skill like this is pretty valuable. And yeah, the outside of this stick is great too, both the front and the back. That was what Artorias could do with a B&B stick. Here's what Artorias can do with a snack box. This one has clean wiring, embossed artwork that looks great, and pearlescent paint that's pretty unique. I mean, look at how awesome this is when the color changes as the light moves. This is very unique and really incredible work. Now for the top 3 fight sticks of the month. There is an exception here. There is a fourth, and that's that stick right here. I was going to feature this stick last month, but I accidentally closed the tab that I had open for it, and then I forgot about it. And I kind of wish I didn't forget about it because this stick here is amazing. If you could only have one fight stick in your collection, this is probably the one you want because it has everything. It's got a joystick, it has a WASD layout, it has a hitbox style of layout, and it's got the cross-up style of layout. I mean, if you could have one fight stick to kind of rule them all, something that would satisfy almost anyone, well, this stick would do the trick. I'm really sorry for missing you last month, and you've got an honorary spot this month. In third place for March, we have this beautiful 1-0 stick. The artwork is clean and minimalistic, and I like the nice touch of the colored buttons. This thing looks great all the way around, and on the inside here, there is something truly special. Take a look at those button covers. These are 3D printed terminal covers, and I love what they did with the little logos here. I hope this turns into something people can purchase. To me, this is highly innovative and something that looks incredibly good. Pair that with the already amazing wiring and you've got a gorgeous inside of the stick. Color of the cable sleeving matches the buttons, and the auto here ties in with the color scheme too. Overall, this is a beauty. In second place, we have the all buttercade everything. This is a white buttercade case with a nice carbon fiber top, and the red buttons on this really pop. This case looks good all the way around, and on the inside it looks even better. The wiring job on this is incredibly clean, and the amount of customizations in this stick is insane. I could spend an entire video and make it a long video talking about every little customization in here. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be here all day, so I recommend checking out Buttercade's store and seeing what's available. And last but definitely not least, Fight Stick of the Month for May 2021. And we have this Unit 02 low profile arcade controller. This thing is incredibly unique. This thing is completely custom built, and the buttons don't even have rings around them. It has a really cool industrial look. The artwork is dremeled in. It has LEDs. I was initially going to have a little bit of a complaint about the sides being open, but I think it suits this stick really well. I mean, you can't really tell me that that doesn't look good. The underside of the stick features more custom work, and I really like the little window they added. The inside of this is a little bit busy. There is a ton going on here. You can see they tried to clean it up as best as they could, and you can also see how much work went into it. Overall, this thing is a really cool stick. It's got USB-C, it's got mechanical switches, it has LEDs, it has a really cool design, and on top of that, it's completely handmade. So congratulations, here's your Fight Stick of the Month for March of 2021. I want to say a huge thank you to Reddit Fightsticks. This month, well, I say this every month, but this month was incredibly difficult to choose my top picks. There were a lot of really good builds shown. There were a lot of amazing wiring jobs shown. It was a really good month overall. The community keeps getting better and better month over month, and I saw some first-timer builds that completely blew me away. If you haven't already, join the Reddit Fightsticks community, post your build, and maybe you'll be featured in a Fightsticks of the Month video. But anyways, that is all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on any of the Fightsticks of the Month in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Thank you, everyone. Take care.